You have to check this out. The trailer for one of the most influential movies of the year just came out. For filmmakers, one of the most anticipated movies in a long time. Because, guess what camera this is filmed on? This guy, the FX3. The whole movie was shot on not Aries, but FX3s. I'll link the trailer down below because you have to see it. And it's directed by Gareth Edwards, who directed Rogue One, and DP'd by one of the greatest, if not the greatest, Greg Fraser, who DP'd Dune, Batman, Zero Dark 30, Vice, Foxcatcher, some of the greatest films, along with Oren Soffer, who's also very, very talented. A freaking huge Hollywood film shot on Sony FX3s. I'm gonna try to answer 3 whys. Why the heck would they do this? Why does this matter to you and me? And why I think this is gonna be one of the most influential movies in a long time for filmmakers. Okay, so why did they choose the FX3 over something like this, the Arri Alexa Mini LF? Because they're a big Hollywood movie. They could probably choose whatever camera they want. So why the FX3? Well, right now we don't really know. They haven't really talked openly about this film yet and the production of it. I'm kind of actually hoping I can get them on this channel to talk about why the FX3, because I think it's so interesting. The only few hints that we have right now is that Greg Fraser mentioned that he was shooting a feature film on the FX3 on a podcast. And he basically just mentioned that it was small, lightweight, and that it had high ISO. That's basically it. But that kind of gives us some direction as to why they might choose something like this. I've also heard that they used Atlas anamorphics, and if they're using the FX3, I assume they were using the Mercuries, which is quite interesting, but that's all speculation because I don't know for sure. But it would make sense because they're pretty small and you still get that really cool anamorphic look, and then these don't have like a big 4x3 sensor like other cameras like the Arri Alexa Mini LF do. So clearly they wanted a small, lightweight package to work with. They didn't want big lenses, they didn't want a big camera. For whatever reason, they thought that that would be the best way of telling this story. I've also heard that Gareth Edwards, who directed the film, likes to operate the camera himself, which is not super typical for directors to be operating. And so I assume, carrying around big, Arri 65 or something like that, especially handheld, would get quite tiring for a director, whereas this, rigged out still, would be much more manageable. I don't know if it's clear, but they obviously didn't just shoot like this. They would have rigged this out a little bit at least, V-mount batteries and a little monitor and stuff like that. But I'm really curious, how much did they build it out even? And what codecs did they use? There's so many questions. So why specifically they chose the FX3? Right now, we can only speculate. I'm hoping we can get some answers soon, but that's not really the point of this video. Check out this thing. This is the Inspire 3. This thing kind of stresses me out. It's big, it's expensive. So much to learn. So the question is, why does all of this matter to you and me? Well, filmmaking at the highest quality is becoming more and more accessible. And that means this is the greatest time ever to be a filmmaker. The potential, the possibilities, the opportunities have never been this great for filmmakers. 8K raw aerial footage a few years ago, yeah, that's not happening. Now we have this drone that I can just fly by myself and get 8K raw footage. It's got an FPV camera and everything. Also rigged up a new light. Aperture sent me one of these little light mat things, and I got rid of that big boom crane light dome thing here. This is way more sleek, and it's just on this little arm thing that I can move around. Quite handy. I got the little controller box over here, secretly mounted, going up and around. Thanks, Aperture. I felt that wave of digital filmmaking come with the Canon 5D Mark II. For the first time, we could have 24 frames per second, full frame, shallow depth of field, low light capable, all of this stuff in a small, fairly affordable package. That's what got me into filmmaking. But you still had to learn kind of the quirks and kind of really figure it out to make it look really good. It wasn't super easy still. And now there's this new wave where cameras and software and the tools that we have are so powerful that you can literally make a Hollywood quality film with just kind of like basic gear. Okay, it's not completely basic, but like, you know what I mean. You can literally film a movie on a camera like this that we kind of all have access to, edit it in your bedroom and put it on YouTube to the masses. I'm not saying it's easy, I'm not saying that it's not a ton of work, and I'm not saying that it doesn't require a lot of money still to make something like The Creator. But picture all of the filmmakers in this like pyramid, all of the filmmakers in the world. And at the top, we have the top guys, the Greg Frasers, the Roger Deakinses, the Denis Villeneuves, the top guys. And then we have kind of like the people that know what they're doing. And then at the bottom, we have all of the noobs, the beginners that are just trying to figure it out. Now, from when I got into filmmaking, this whole bottom portion has now moved up. Because if you want 4K, shallow depth of field, good dynamic range, you pull out your iPhone, you put it in cinematic mode, anybody and everybody can do it. Everybody is now a filmmaker because everybody has a camera in their pocket. Which means the top stuff of the pyramid of filmmakers has kind of moved down, and now making a feature film isn't so crazy. I mean, that's what we did with Danny. We made a feature film and it's done, it's out there. Well, it's not fully out there, but it's finished. We're getting it out there. What I'm trying to say is there's a new wave of filmmaking happening and you do not want to miss this. And if that isn't inspiring, I don't know what will get you inspired. And that's why I think The Creator will be one of the most influential movies of 2023 and perhaps, I don't know, the decade, because so many people will be inspired to get out there and make a short film, to make a documentary, to make a feature film. There are no excuses, no reasons to not make something. You can literally just pull out the camera in your pocket and make something. There's just storytelling, creativity, hard work, and getting out there and just making it. Pick up that FX3 and let's go, because if it's good enough for Greg Fraser, it's 100% good enough for you and me. I'm dying to test these two cameras head to head because I have a feeling the differences are not as big as you think. Which you might be like, well, why you wasted your money, but no, I think that's really, really exciting. So please go and watch that trailer because it is very inspiring. Go and watch that film when it comes out because it feels like a film made for us. And start writing your scripts and your ideas down and just start making stuff and do that. Learn, make, repeat. That's all you gotta do. All right, bye.